With the many different options that you have in front of you, kung saan mo ba pwedeng ilagay ang pera mo for your investment, the question is, what is the best investment for you? Stick around because I'm going to be talking about that next. Welcome back, everyone. So today's vlog is very timely, primarily because during the COVID pandemic, marami sa atin ang nagkaroon ng realizations. Okay? Ito yung mga parang nabigla na lang sila na, oh my God, saan ko ba dapat nilagay ang pera ko to begin with? Okay? So, wag na tayong magpatagal. Let's start talking about that question na what is the best investment option for you? But before we get into that discussion, gusto ko munang mag-define ng certain terminologies or jargons related to investment so that we are all on the same page. And I'd like to start with the very first, which is inflation. So ano bang inflation? Simply put, ito yung pagtaas ng presyo ng goods and services. Okay? At it also affects our purchasing power. Okay? Meaning, ganito yan, yung 500 pesos mo, kung ano yung nabibili mo back in, let's say, 2015, it will not be exactly the same amount of items or stuffs in your, kunwari, grocery basket ngayong 2021. Kaya di ba nga merong ad yung Cornetto, yung sabi, hanggang saan aabot ang 20 pesos mo? If that question were asked back in I don't know, 1990, naku, marami ka pang mabibili sa halagang 20 pesos. Pero ngayon, yun nga, you can only buy a small Cornetto ice cream cone. Okay? So, yun yung number one, which is inflation. So, mamaya, pag pinag-uusapan na natin kung ano yung mga considerations for the best investment option for you, you always need to keep in mind the inflation rate of the Philippines. So, katulad ngayon, the inflation rate 2021 compared to last year is at 3%. Okay? So, ano yung purpose ng inflation rate? You need to understand na ang mga papasukan mo na investment, dapat ang kanilang yield or interest rate, dapat mga minimum of 3% or higher para hindi ka talo. O ngayon, second, since earlier, medyo nabanggit ko yung interest rate. So, the second one is the concept of compounding. So, ano naman yung compounding? This is the ability of an asset or yung pera mo, yung investment mo or your principal to earn its own money. Okay? So, kumbaga, yung pinasok mong pera, nagkaroon ng kita or interest. Okay? Tapos, ito total mo ngayon silang dalawa. Original plus the earning. So, yun na ang iyong new money. Tapos, ang compounding, ang ibig sabihin nun, yung bagong ia-apply na interest, doon na sa bagong total mo, which is your original investment plus the interest that you earn. So, yun yung konsepto ng compounding. Maganda siya, it's very beneficial for you because it helps grow or increase your original investment over time. Pero maganda lang ang compounding or compounding interest in terms of savings and investment kasi pagdating yan sa mga loan tsaka babayarin sa mga credit card, naku, delix yun yung compounding interest. Okay? But we can talk about that on another vlog about credit. Okay, our next jargon, or actually jargons, kasi 3-in-1 ito, we will discuss them one after the other. So, ano yung tatlo na yun? No? Let's start with the first one, which is liquidity, and then second, it is return, and then the risk. Oh, so, ulit liquidity, return, tsaka risk. So, ano ang liquidity? Okay, ang liquidity, it is the ability of an investment na ma-convert mo into cash. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. Yung gaano ba siya kabilis or kadali na maging cash from its original form. Okay? That's your liquidity. Number 2 is the return. Okay? So, kumbaga, ano yung balik? Okay? Kaya nadidinig niyo yung concept or yung acronym na ROI, Return on Investment. Okay? So, ito yung gain or loss, no? Kasi ang balik, pwede kang nalugi, pwede ka rin kumita. So, yun yung return na konsepto ng investment. And then the third one is risk. Okay, so risk, this is the chance or the possibility that what you invested will actually be less than the original or actually be zero or gone. Okay, so ano bang Tagalog ng risk? Wala siya actually yung Tagalog. I think the closest Tagalog would be, medyo Spanyol yung dating eh. Peligro. Okay? And speaking of Spanish and peligro in Spanish, kapag tinranslate mo yung peligro, Espanyol, in English, that directly translates to danger. Okay? So let's take it in that context. Ang risk ay ang danger na maaaring ang iyong investment ay malugi or mabawasan or mawala. Okay, so ngayon, alam na natin yung 5 na jargons na yun. Marami pa actually investment jargons, but those 5 are basic investment jargons that should get you by in terms of investing. Tapos medyo pag-uusapan din natin yung ilang konsepto doon when we talk about these considerations. So ito na. Okay, bago natin sagutin kung ano ba ang best investment, meron tayong 6 considerations. Okay, na ano ba ang, hindi siya considerations, 6 criteria para masabi mong ang isang investment ay ideal or the best investment. So ano yung 6 na yun? Number 1, one of the first criterion for being an ideal investment is that dapat ang investment mo walang involved na risk. Oh, di ba? Yung it will not cause you sleepless nights kasi nga hindi ka nag-worry because walang peligro, walang danger, walang off chance that you may possibly lose your money or malugi ka. That is the best investment. Number 2. Criterion number 2 ay kailangan ang ROI or return on investment mo ay mataas. Di ba? ROI ka na lang, mag-i-invest ka na rin lang naman, tapos yung return sa'yo, sobrang kakulangot lang. Okay? So, you want an investment that gives you very high yield. So, that is number 2. Also, number 3, para maging ideal investment, kailangan din ang investment mo, madali mo siyang ma-convert into cash. Meaning, it's very liquid. And if you need cash, kapag nag-withdraw ka in whatever manner necessary, dapat wala kang babayaran ng penalty or charges. Yun yung ideal. Okay? And then, connected to that, number 4 na criterion para maging isa kang ideal investment ay kailangan yung cost of investment mababa lang. Hindi ka maglalabas ng malaking pera. Okay? O yun yung best investment. Maliit lang yung ipinasok mong puhunan. Number 5, para maging ideal investment ka, kailangan itong investment mo napakadali. Okay? So, no-brainer. It has to be easy peasy. Wala kang kailangang problemahin. Walang masyadong maraming processing. Walang masyadong requirements. Wala kang pinoproblema. So, again, it has to be easy as pie. Yun yung best investment. And the last criterion for being considered as an ideal or the best investment is dahil tayo ay mga law-abiding citizens of the Philippines at nagbabayad tayo ng buwis, kailangan ng investment na pipiliin mo ay ang short-term returns niya or ang iyong long-term earnings dapat tax-free. Or at the very least, pag nag-file ka, kailangan merong tax deferment at the very least. Yon ang 6 criteria para masabi natin na ang iyong investment ay ideal or the best. So ngayon, feeling ko, alam niyo na kung ano yung sagot, though it's a question na what is the best investment tool. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, guys, itong 6 na criteria na sinabog sa inyo, there is no one investment option, tool, or instrument in the world or in the universe that addresses or that actually ticks the checkbox for all 6. So meron doon, may mga 2, may 3, at most maybe 4, pero wala pang isang investment instrument na check siya doon sa lahat ng 6. So yun yung una kong sagot sa what is the best investment instrument. The answer is, there is no one best. But there may be one that is best for you. Yun yung importante kasi kung ano ang best investment for Peter may not be the same exact best investment for you, di ba? So, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon, ano ba ang mga considerations pag pumipili ka na ng investment? O now, dahil 6 yung aking criteria for what are the best investment options, meron din akong 6 considerations for you to think about kapag pumipili ka na ng investment. Let's start with number 1, okay? What is your investment objective? Okay? Meaning, dapat alam mo yun bago ka magsimula ng investment. Ano ba to? Are you going to be a long-term investor? Gusto mo bang maging daily trader? Ito bang investment mo is something related to your insurance? Is it for yourself? Is it maybe for a travel abroad soon? For trips, or is it something for the education of your children, or is it para makapagpatayo ka ng bahay? So importante, sabi nga ni Stephen R. Covey, begin with the end in mind. Yun yung number 1. Number 2, how much money can you invest? Okay? Yun yung magiging decision Gusto mo, hindi pwedeng, gusto mo mag-invest ng, gusto mong bumili for example, ng condo, pero ang pera mo lang ngayon, 5,000. Okay? Hindi pwede yun. Okay? So, how much money can you invest now or in the near future? Okay? Kailangan realistic ka mag-isip. Okay? Kasi dapat kaya mo. Siyempre, yung initial payment or if it's, kunwari, may example na bibili ka ng bahay, kailangan kaya mo ding ma-foresee or yung mako-cover yung babayaran mong monthly amortization, etc., etc. Number 3, how much involvement or how involved do you think you want to get dito sa investment mo na to? Ito ba, naisip ko yung example dito, kunwari, magbubukas ka ng business, whether it's a business of your own or a franchise. Okay? So, naiisip mo ba na ikaw ay magiging highly involved? Ikaw ba ay hands-on, 24/7 ka bang nandyan, day in, day out? Or gusto mo ba there is a partner or is there someone who is managing the business for you or on your behalf? So, kailangan mong i-take into consideration ang iyong level of involvement and or of course, commitment for your investment. Number 4 and number 5, i-discuss na natin siya ng magkasunod or magkasabay, no? Number 4 is, what is your investment horizon? And number 5, how soon do you need your money, your profit, your yield, or your earnings? So, doon tayo sa number 4. Anong ibig sabihin ng investment horizon? Okay? Kasi, let's be all realistic, no? Lahat tayo, merong deadline. And the deadline is, we're all going to die. Okay? So, or at the very least, kumbaga sa working, we will all resign or retire at some point. So, ano yung horizon mo pa? So, kumbaga, doon na lang tayo sa age, no? So, kung ikaw ay 20-ish, okay? So, you're Gen Y, Gen Zer, mahaba pa yung investment horizon mo. Okay? So, kumbaga, there's still a long way ahead of you. Marami ka pang pwedeng maging hurdles, may maaari ka pang mistakes. Okay? You can actually afford to make mistakes. Okay? And yung malugi ka at some point here and there kasi nga, matagal pa at malayo pa or mahaba pa ang iyong investment horizon. Okay? So, I don't wanna say there's nothing to lose, pero medyo malapit doon yung justification na pwede kang maging medyo bara-bara pag nag-invest ka dahil bata ka pa kasi mahaba pa yung investment horizon mo. Whereas, ikaw ay approaching your retirement. So, kunwari, in my case, I'm turning, oh my God, 45 years old. Oh, no! So, kung 45 ka na, tapos magre-retire ka na ngayon nga, gusto mo yung forced retirement, which is 65. So, you only have 20 years to consider in terms of your investment. So, ang horizon mo, maigsi na lang. Okay, so kailangan medyo careful ka kasi hindi na biro yung magkaroon ka ng pagkakamali, magkaroon ka ng mistakes in terms of choosing the investment instrument. And lastly, number 6, ano ba ang iyong personality? As well as, ito bagong term siguro to for you, what is your investment appetite? Okay, so it goes hand in hand. Ano bang personality mo? Are you the adventurous type? Ikaw ba yung hindi ka mapakali pag nasa isang sulok ka lang, pag tahimik ka lang, pag hindi ka parang kiti-kiti, kapag hindi ka nagsa-skydive or nagma-mountain climbing? Yun, are you very aggressive or assertive? Versus, are you also very, or maybe are you conservative? O ikaw yung medyo takot ka sa risk, Okay, medyo duwag ka, you are the type of person who loses sleep. Okay? So, kailangan i-take into consideration mo yon sa pag-i-invest. Kapag ikaw, medyo risk taker ka, so i-consider mo yung mga high risk na mga investments. Okay? Pag ikaw naman ay conservative or mababa, maliit, kukonti ang iyong investment appetite, you might want to go for the more conservative options. So, what are the different types of investment instruments? Ano ba yung mga options na pwede mong pagpilian? There are actually a lot, and there are old school, and there are new types, no? So, naisip ko ngayon sa new type, yung mga cryptocurrency, among others, right? So, but I can think of 8 na gusto kong i-discuss very quickly, okay? Para lang meron kayong a little bit of option. And these 8 are things that a lot of us, no matter how unexposed to investments we are, these are quite easier to grasp compared to the other more technical. So itong 8 na to, may mga permutations pa siya na from within, no? Pero pag-usapan natin yung generic types of these 8 types of investments that I have chosen. So let's start. So the first one, ito yung sobrang familiar kayo lahat. Kasi as early as grade school, pinilit na kayo ng mga teachers at mga magulang ninyo na magkaroon nito. These are your cash instruments. And the most common example for cash instrument is your bank account. So it could be savings, it could be debit, credit, okay? So checking account, okay? Pwede siyang time deposit, okay? So yun yung isang type of investment. Okay? So, most likely, investor ka na kasi siguro naman at your age na you are 20s and above, meron kang at least a savings account. So, kapag meron ka na nun, check, isa ka ng investor. Okay? So, let's go to the second one. The second one, these are debt instruments. Hindi debt na namatay. Debt yung utang. Okay? So, debt instruments. So ano to? Mga company and government-issued securities, bonds, and mga treasury bills. So, bakit siya tinawag na debt instrument? Kasi essentially, parang nagpapautang ka doon sa kumpanya, if it's a corporate bond, for example, or kay gobyerno, o gusto mo yun, nagpautang ka sa Pilipinas, sa Philippine government. Okay? So, mag-i-issue sila nitong mga IOUs. Okay? So, these are the securities, the treasury bills, the bonds. Tapos, generally, meron siyang time frame na kailangan mong makomplete para ma-enjoy mo yung fixed rate, which is generally higher than the first example, which is your savings account. Okay? Nakalimutan kong sabihin, ang pinakamataas ngayon na savings account rate would be around, basta anything below 1%. Kapag may nagsabi sa na bangko na ang interest rate nila per annum ay mas mataas sa 1%, mataas ang minimum or average daily maintaining balance nun. Meron ako isang nakita, if I'm not mistaken, ING. Kailangan meron kang 20 million pesos na maintaining para ikaw ay kumita ng kaya naman hanggang 4% per annum. Yun. The third example, ito medyo familiar din kayo dito. This is your stocks and or equity. Okay? So, ano ba tong stock? So, kanina, dun sa government or company-issued securities and bonds, parang nagpautang ka doon sa kumpanya or sa gobyerno. Ito naman, yung stocks, yung kumpanya, in order for them to, I don't know, maybe expand their business or maybe have a new venture, kailangan nila ng more funds. And in order for them to have more funds, kailangan nila ng magiging shareholders. Okay? So, parang hindi siya parang, totoo. Nagbebenta ang kumpanya ng shares of ownership of the corporation. Okay? So, kapag ikaw ay stockholder, ibig sabihin, may porsyento, may maliit na part or portion nung kumpanya na yon na ikaw ay may-ari. Okay? And there are also some companies na nagbibigay ng dividends doon sa mga shareholders. The fourth option is something that you may have also heard before and maybe naimbitahan na kayong magkape to talk about it. So number 4 is your mutual fund. Okay? So ano yung mutual fund? It is a professionally managed fund that comes from various types of investment instruments. primarily, yung nabanggit ko kanina na stocks and equity, tsaka yung mga debt instruments. Yun nga, mga bonds and issued securities. Okay? So, pinupool yan together. Ito yung nagko-consist or nagko-comprise ng mutual fund. So, isama na natin dito sa category na to si Variable Universal Life or VUL. Ito yung mga nakipagkape sa'yo ng mga taga Sun Life, Pru, Manulife, etc. etc. Okay? So, bakit siya kasama dito sa category na to despite it being an insurance company? Kasi nga, itong VUL, almost always, their insurance plans come with an attached or a packaged investment portfolio or, in this case, a mutual fund. O, panglima, nabigay ko na itong example earlier. Business. Okay, so it's an investment. So ikaw maaaring magaling kang mag-bake o di gumawa ka ng iyong pastry shop. It could be a physical shop or it could be an online shop. Okay, o kaya magaling kang manahe, 'di ba? You can have your own atelier. Okay? So mga ganyan, o kaya kung gusto mo naman, pangarap mo since you're a child to have an empire of fast food chains, o edi mag-franchise ka ng Jollibee. Okay, so yun yung mga so business, pwede ka ring magkaroon ng sarili mo. Pasok ko na dito yung poultry, yan, tapos livestock, yan, gusto mo ng baboy, ng baka, ng manok, yan, pwede yan. Number 6, eto, ano to? Gems, precious stones, precious metals. So ano yung mga yan, no? So dun tayo sa gems and stones. Yan, mga pearls, rubies, sapphire, huwag naman cubic zirconia. Kasi mga yun, fancy yun, no? So, yung mga stones and gems of value, of course, diamond, syempre, ganyan. So, ano pa, doon tayo sa metal. So, gold, copper, ang bronze ba? O bronze, pati yun, no? So, platinum. Usama na natin yung titanium. Gusto mo, lagyan mo na rin ng adamantium. Okay. So, precious, ang keyword natin dito ay precious. Hindi porke basta-basta bato, gem, or metal ay investment na siya. So, number 6, ito, nako, para sa mga friends ko at besh na mga yayamanin, pasok! Number 6, these are your collectibles. Okay? So, ano ang collectibles? From the root word collect. So, now, these are mga bagay na kinokolekta mo at hindi lang basta-basta dahil hoarder ka. But because they have a special value. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga naiisip kong example? Yan, nagkukolekta ka ng mga Birkin, Balenciaga, Hermes, yan. Mga Damier, Graffiti, mga Louis Vuitton. Ang mga sapatos mo ay, tama ba yung pronunciation ko? Louboutins. Okay? Tapos, duwag tayo sa fashion. Doon tayo sa yung mga mahilig magkolekta ng mga artwork. So, halimbawa, meron kang mga works of ang Kyukok. Okay? Or gawin natin mas matagal pa, mas matanda pa. Meron kang mga originals of paintings of Fernando Amorsolo. Yun yung mga collectibles. So, common denominator or the keyword is collectible. Hindi ka lang nag-hoard. Okay, but these things that you collect or in some cases, hinord mo ay with value. Okay, so medyo debatable kasi itong number 6, yung collectible. And I always tell people this. This is my take on this and you can fight me on this matter. Ang collectible, if you don't intend to sell it, okay, at a better rate, a higher, a more expensive price, it is not a financial investment. Okay? It is only an emotional investment. Why do I say emotional investment? Ito yung mga tipong meron kang Amorsolo, every time na tinitignan mo siya, naluluha ka kasi, oh my God, ako lang ang meron nito. Okay? O kaya may mahilig ka sa halimbawa, meron kang limited edition na Hermes Birkin. Okay? Yung pag naglalakad ka, talagang feeling mo, ikaw na yung pinakamaganda at pinakamayaman sa buong Pilipinas. Okay? So, it's only an emotional investment if you do not decide to resell it at a higher resale value. Number 7, medyo biased ako dito kasi dito ako galing sa industry na to, is real estate. Okay? So, we're talking about properties. Okay, so ano ba ang mga examples ng real estate that you can invest in? So we're talking about house and lot, a townhome, it could be a residential lot only, a farmland, it could be a beachfront property, it can be an apartment complex, it could be a dilapidated old house, it could be an ancestral home, it could be a brand new or second-hand condominium development. So the list goes on and on. So ang real estate, nako, no-brainer yan kasi lahat tayo, we all have it as part of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is shelter. Okay, so parang given yan lagi. Kaya nga, di ba, lahat ng mga tao, ang pangarap, or at the very least, majority of people dream of owning their very own homes. Okay? So, yun, nabigay ko na sa inyo kung ano yung 6 considerations para masabing ano ba ang best investment na instrument. Okay? So, tapos binigay ko rin sa inyo yung 8 examples na I'd like to share in terms of what are the possible options that you can choose. Okay? So, I took the liberty of doing a matrix in terms of yung liquidity, yung ease of getting into the investment, the cost, etc., etc. And this is what I came up with. So as you can see from that matrix or table that I just showed you, and if you heard what I said earlier on in this vlog, there is no one best investment. Wala pang investment na na-check lahat nung 6 na check boxes na sinabi ko about what is or are the criteria for being an ideal investment. Okay? So, dahil wala ngang one best investment, the key here is to not put all your eggs in one basket. Ano yung bakit may eggs? Kaya nangingitlog na ba tayo? Hindi, ganito yun. Putting it in context of investment, yung eggs gawin nating pera, okay? Money. Okay? So, ang sinasabi, huwag mong ilagay lahat ng pera mo sa iisang basket or sa iisang investment. Kasi, kapag nalugi yun, edi wala ka na. Okay? So, wala. Talo ka na. Iyak ka na. Okay? So, the key here, ladies and gentlemen, is diversification. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin ng diversification? Yung term is to diversify, meaning, kailangan may various different channels ka na pinaglalagyan mo, or to go back to that symbolism, kailangan marami kang baskets. Okay, tapos siguro kung may 10 kang itlog, meron kang 5 baskets, maglagay ka na, hindi naman kailangan 2, 2, 2, 2. So pwedeng 4 dito, dito 2, dito 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is called diversification and building an investment portfolio. So yun ang sagot sa what is the best investment for you. Ikaw ang makakasagot nun base doon sa considerations na sinabi ko kanina na 6, di ba? Yung mga may investment horizon, yung how much money do you have, etc., etc. As I have mentioned very early in this vlog, yung best investment para doon sa friend mo, para sa iyong kapitbahay, para sa tita mo, para sa jowa mo, that does not automatically mean that that is also the best investment for you. So, use these considerations wisely, think about it, and you get to decide. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this vlog, which is also a preview of my current financial literacy and or investment seminars that I conduct. If you are interested to attend this full course of that program, please send me a private message or comments down below in the comments section. Okay? And I hope to be of service to you and your organization in terms of financial wellness. Okay? So I hope you learned a thing or two about financial literacy, specifically investment instruments and some jargons and terminologies about it. So from here in Orion, Bataan, I wish that you are all still healthy, safe, happy, loved, and investing wisely. I will see you in my future vlog. This is PJ Bentong.
If you like this video, please click like, share it on your social media, and if you haven't yet, click subscribe and that bell.